Get huge savings all summer long with the Buy Here, Sell Here program at the Team Automotive Group. Sell your vehicle to us and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get Team VIP service at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Welcome to 9 News Now on a Wednesday. I can't keep telling myself it's Wednesday morning.
I know. For a while there, we were like, it's Thursday. No,
almost.
Might want to jump ahead and miss some of it. It's a gorgeous shot, though. That it really is. You know, the sunrises, they really are just pretty. And then you get out there and you feel what they're doing, and that's not just kind of looking at what's going on.
Yeah, we're going to get into some of these record-breaking heat temperature stories in just a bit, but let's start with Steve. Talk about the forecast. Steve, while it is a pretty shot, it's already going to work on us, huh?
Yeah, it looks pretty, and then you step outside and you melt instantaneously. Yeah, big time heat. Once again, excessive heat warning in effect area wide. So the heat, we're cranking it up another notch today. We also need to remind you the red flag warning remains in effect near and north of the interstates into western Louisiana. There's been quite the wildfire in Beauregard Parish over the last 24 hours, at least by our standards. That's been a pretty big one. All right, here's a look at temperatures outside this morning. Mid 70s to low 80s right now. Baton Rouge 81, Hammond 76, Gonzales starting out at 77. Look at how quickly it heats up. Near 90 by 9 o'clock, approaching 100 by noon. I've got the high not on this graphic, but 105 this afternoon, which would shatter the previous record. And the rain chances today only look to be about 10%. Speaking of that record heat, Monday we tied a record high. Yesterday was a new record high in Baton Rouge. And look at this, I potentially have a run of record highs continuing on into early next week. That would be 7 more record highs. Looks like a pretty good bet today, tomorrow, Friday and Saturday will be right around the record. Sunday will easily beat it. Monday a little bit above. Tuesday will be right around it. So again, we could potentially, if this were to work out, we could end up with 9 straight days of record tying or record setting heat here in Baton Rouge. Just absurd, the numbers we continue to show you. Heat index numbers climbing. So today and tomorrow, those heat index numbers could get above 115, a bit higher than the last couple of days. So keep that in mind for our coaches out there. If you got football practice and the other sports, really got to be careful. This is dangerous heat, and the heat index still topping 110 on into the weekend. The heat we're experiencing tied into a massive dome of high pressure that extends all the way from northern Mexico up into the upper Midwest, northern plains here along the Gulf Coast. Now you get rain on its periphery, sometimes refer to that as the ring of fire, where you get storms firing, but underneath the high pressure dome, including here, we're going to keep it mainly dry. They are the remnants of Harold that made landfall in South Texas as a tropical storm yesterday, still producing some rain. West Texas headed into New Mexico this morning, but in our part of the world, things are pretty quiet. Elsewhere in the tropics now, let's update you on that. This is Franklin nearing Hispaniola this morning, actually flaring up a little bit. We're also going to keep an eye on the eastern Pacific side. A lot of thunderstorm activity down here. Some indications a little piece of energy breaks off and kind of moves northward across Central America near the Yucatan by late this week or this weekend. We'll keep an eye on it, but right now, level of concern with that is low. The remnants of Emily are flaring back up over the Atlantic, and then there's another tropical wave here a little bit southeast of it. Let's update you on the tropical weather outlook for the National Hurricane Center. So the forecast does show Franklin could become a hurricane here as it gets north of the islands and south of Bermuda, so we'll keep an eye on that. The remnants of Emily now, development odds have been bumped back up to 70%, so it could redevelop. Meanwhile, the wave that's behind it, 2 days ago, these development odds were at 70%. Those continue to trend lower, down to 30%. So still several features in the tropics, but right now, nothing of concern in our part of the world. This is a concern. The 7-day rainfall outlook not offering much hope for relief. Right now, standing at our driest summer on record in Baton Rouge, and the outlook suggesting on average a quarter inch or less the next 7 days for many of us. Maybe a little bit of rain, a little more closer to the coast, but certainly not enough rain to bust the drought anytime soon. 105 for highs today and tomorrow. Friday through the weekend, I've got 103 to 104. I might be a little bit optimistic with this 30% rain chance tomorrow, but let's say anywhere 20 to 30% tomorrow on into the weekend. That's slightly higher, but still not amounting to much. Triple-digit heat into the early part of next week. Maybe some very slight relief after that with upper 90s instead of triple digits, but still rain chances right now no higher than 30% on the 10-day outlook. It's 7:07 with a check on your Wednesday morning drive. Here's John.
Kind of getting busy out and about this morning, Steve. Good morning, everybody. Looking pretty good this morning on most of our roadways, and we're seeing the backups where we normally see them coming in from Denham Springs. You're going to start kind of backing up before Jubin, not quite back to Walker, but definitely before Jubin. Slowest at Jubin on-ramp and the Range on-ramp all the way into East Baton Rouge Parish, and then a little slower traffic on I-10 from right past Essen Lane all the way past the City Park Lakes area this morning. Here's I-10 at Essen Lane as westbound as you make your way toward the 1012 merge. And there's that right lane off-ramp traffic backing up onto the interstate at Acadian. It's slow beyond that to the City Park Lakes, though, as a matter of fact. And our bridge traffic is okay coming in from the west on 10 eastbound. A little slow traffic right at the 10-110, and the 18-wheeler at the Washington off-ramp is still there from earlier this morning, actually from the wee hours of the morning. About 3:30, 4 o'clock is when that 18-wheeler pulled off. 7:08, it is 8 minutes after. Very, very hot. We're so proud of Callie this morning. She was out and about with the firefighters, and kudos, like Steve's been mentioning all morning, to our firefighters out in this heat fighting blazes for us. Let's get back to Studio B with Matt and Liz.
That's exactly it. We can never say thank you enough because, look, we know being outside is hot enough. Imagine wearing a uniform. Yeah. Imagine wearing an oxygen tank and a helmet. Callie got some of that firsthand insight today for a 24-hour drill at the end of a 3-week boot camp.
Yeah, so actually, it's did they place this 24-hour drill like right in the middle of the boot camp? And so it is this 3-week-long kind of, do you want to do this?
Right.
Is this your career?
Test.
Right. They're going to kind of step you through everything, and then right in the middle of this, it's 24 hours, even more intense everything. So Callie suited up with the folks out there, St. George Fire Department, to kind of get an idea of what it takes to be a firefighter. And you mentioned it, everybody can't say thank you enough, because we got a little taste of just kind of some of what they go through.
Yeah.
But then you add the real deal elements to some of this, some of what they have to fight on a daily basis. And it is, it's nonstop.
No, and this is something where you can play a part in making sure they don't have to respond to so many fires. 24 hours ago, we told you about this. A fire at a building on Jasper Avenue, kind of near the Gardier Lane, Bluebonnet part of the world. Well, we now know the cause of it. Someone threw out a cigarette butt, did not properly dispose of it. That's what sparked this. When we talk about heat and we take these burn bans seriously, you're thinking, I'm not going to burn a grass pile. It's a cigarette butt. It's coins. It's chains dragging off of trucks. That kind of stuff can start these kind of fires. I've
never understood the whole, everybody throwing their cigarette butts out the car windows. It's one of my pet peeves. I don't know why it isn't everybody. I don't know why it's not everybody's pet peeve. But so yeah, that is now not just awful and disgusting and horrible and littering to begin with. Now it's the possibility of something like this happening. So please take it upon yourself to do everything you can with this statewide burn ban. Don't do anything that might create some issues, because we are seeing issues statewide. Yeah,
Beauregard Parish, right in southwest Louisiana. Dr. Steve has been keeping his eyes on this. If you watch that time-lapse video, it's remarkable. We're talking about Marydale, the town there being evacuated, 2 schools being evacuated last night. So a big deal when you talk about the impact of wildfires around the state. We all have to do our part to make sure this does not happen.
Ag Commissioner Mike Strain talking about the fact we are seeing more of that this year. We already have seen so many more of those. So please take it seriously. It's not just headlines for headlines. No. This is actually going on right now. And so what they're trying to do with some of this is get an eye on it from a higher level. It's not just the towers anymore. They're up in the air. Yeah, they've got planes to help monitor these things aerially, right? To get a good idea of exactly how much land they've covered and how much they have to go. More efficient way of fighting fires. Trying to, right? So everything that they're doing, we can be a part of that as well. Okay, so yeah, it continues to be a headline here. The transportation issues in East Baton Rouge for the school system. Conversations are still going on about how to resolve all of this. So in the meantime, there's a few things things going on to get students to class.
That's it. So CATS buses are offering a 30-day waiver for students to actually ride the bus to make sure they can get to and from school. Obviously, we're looking ahead to the big meeting tomorrow where they're going to talk about another potential plan here. The school board says everything's on the table, from staggered starts to schools, the buses. We're keeping an eye on all the things right now.
Continues to be a big time story.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you were just talking about right there. CATS offering up that bus ride. AI. How many times have we mentioned the letters? Artificial intelligence. We've talked a lot about it in recent months. What do the next months and years with this involve?
Well, we're hoping to hear from an LSU professor today. We're going to have a crew hopefully there listen in to find out how AI is changing our world for good and for worse, as Matt mentioned. That's happening at the Rotary Club today at noon. Again, we'll have eyes on it and we'll let you know what comes out of it.
So from that to this as well, how about, speaking of the future of Baton Rouge, the master plan, a big meeting tonight over at the Goodwood, the main library in Goodwood. It's not just about plans from officials. They want to know what we think.
Yeah, if you've ever complained about the roads, if you've ever complained about how the city looks or how it's inaccessible with sidewalks, all of that, tonight they want to hear those complaints in person.
Absolutely.
There's a meeting at the Goodwood Library. They're going to present the plan, kind of what's involved in this master plan. Public comment welcome. Sound off tonight.
Absolutely. Make your way out there. They've got some other opportunities for you as the kind of days and weeks move on. And we'll remind you of those if you can't make it out to that
We sure will.
Want to remind you of this quickly as well. The first GOP presidential debate tonight going on in Milwaukee. 8 folks scheduled to be on the stage, 1 scheduled not to be on the stage.
That's it. Donald Trump saying he's got a busy day ahead of him today, obviously looking ahead to Georgia and tomorrow, all the charges that he's facing there. So we're keeping our eyes on the debate. We'll certainly let you know on 9 News at 10 tonight what comes out of that debate, who appears to be the front runner.
But I tell you what, this guy, this guy's right here, it seems to be the winner of the morning, our Kelly Hubbard. When was the last time you guys put on the gear and just kind of punched your way through some walls?
Just for fun.
Oh, look, on a good day, all that gear and how hot it must be, thinking about doing that right now, I mean, it's just unimaginable to somebody like me. So hats off to the men and women, all our fire departments that are doing that. And we've got a lot of them out there battling wildfires in recent days.
Right.
And to the coaches out there with high school football and college football.
That's another
those
thing,
practices are ramping up and it's hot. Hot.
And it is, and it's something that everybody's paying attention to right now. Everybody always paid attention to it in South Louisiana, out there with the heat, but now they got to manage it even more. You're exactly right.
Especially as we talk about more heat-related deaths added. The Louisiana Department of Health is tracking all of that. So needless to say, please take those precautions. Make sure you're taking those breaks. Drink that water throughout the day. Stay hydrated, because the last thing we need is another heat-related emergency in the emergency room.
Exactly right. Those numbers kind of going up. All right, folks, so there you go. WAFB Plus and 9 News Now. We're going to be back on the mothership for you in about 10 minutes. We'll see you over there.
Get yourself summer ready with the award-winning lineup of Hondas at Team Honda. We'll help you find just the right vehicle to hit the road to whatever destination awaits you. Come shop the most awarded brand in Car and Driver's 10 Best history at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.